Time to Shine, episode 16, Giving Thanks in Advance. This is Scott Ferguson. Let's level up. Hey, Time to Shine squad and Fergie fanatics. Hope everybody is doing well today. It is Martin Luther King's birthday, so I hope everybody is celebrating a little bit. One of the greatest men that ever breathed air on this earth. Did a lot of studying about him back in the day, and I even do it a little bit now, and it's just fantastic. The strength that man had, the push, the drive, the perseverance, it's just crazy. It's kind of unmatchable in this modern age. And one thing that I know that MLK did is he gave a lot of thanks to people. He's very gracious, especially in that day and time. People were not that accepting of him, but I just remember through my readings of him, he gave thanks a ton to everybody that ever helped him. And today's episode is really about giving thanks in advance. It's something that I picked up from Bob Burg, an author that I love. He wrote The Go-Giver. He's wrote a ton of business parables. I love reading them because he does everything in business parables. So his book, The Art of Persuasion, that I believe he wrote in 2011, absolutely fantastic book. Please pick it up. It's in the show notes. But he has just like a 3-page excerpt in there about giving thanks in advance. And what that does is it kind of sets the stage for whoever you're working with or need something from to help. Actually, it'll help them maybe subconsciously help you even better than what you were even expecting. And it's happened to me so many times. After reading that 3-page excerpt, I'd go back in my mental Rolodex of my past of dealing with people and be like, oh my gosh, that actually happened. And I just, I feel that we as a people sometimes have a huge problem with gratitude, and I just don't think we give enough of it. And that's why I encourage you to have a gratitude journal that you write in first thing in the morning. I do it. I've mentioned this a plethora of times in the past with, I give thanks every single day in the morning. I write down 7 to 10 things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's the exact same things. Sometimes it's something new, and I love adding things new that I'm grateful for. But this is giving thanks in advance is doing it before you actually receive something. Okay, an example might be you're walking into your person that works on your car and you say, I really appreciate you taking the time to look and see what's going on with my ride because I don't really know, and man, I depend on you. Or if you're making a call to somebody, maybe you're a charity and you're trying to raise some money, and you'll say thanks in advance for just taking the time. I'll be brief, but thanks in advance for just taking the time to hear from me. What that does, I've found, is it helps the person, it kind of brings their guard down a little bit, and it will help them understand that you're coming from a place of needing help. And deep down, us as human beings, we all want to help. That's the huge thing that people don't understand, is that deep down, we're all good. No matter what the media or whatever anybody says, we really want to help somebody. We want to do good. And I use it all the time when I'm going out to dinner. First thing I do is I ask the server's name if they don't present that from the start. And secondly, I just say, thanks so much for getting ready to take care of us because we've had a crazy day, and just what you're doing is just phenomenal. 9.9999% of the time, that works. It gets the person in a frame mind of serving us better. And I'm not looking to be served fantastically. I mean, I love to be served fantastically, but I'm not looking for that. It actually helps that person have a little bit better of a day, especially if they're what they're called in the weeds and they're super busy and they come up to you and just be like, hey, what's your name? And, oh, it's Stephanie. Oh, great, Stephanie. Thanks so much for taking the time to wait on us today. We've had a crazy day. I know you're busy, so please just take your time. Know we're patient, but just thanks so much. That works huge just with human nature. Period. One thing, though, when you're doing this, is it must be said with sincerity. Don't just say it just to get something from somebody. You got to be sincere. You got to really start to be curious about people and in their situations. When you need something, you kind of walk in and you assess the situation. You see they're busy or you see they're flustered. Be sincere with your thanks in advance. Let them know that you really care. And that comes from your voice, your body language, your eyes. Don't roll your eyes, your pronunciation of words, just the way you're saying things. So make sure that you are 100% sincere. And frankly, it's just the best way to start any conversation. Anytime I meet with somebody, I'm always thanking them for their time in advance. Anytime I send an email out that someone that I want to get on our podcast here to give great content to you, I thank them in advance for just even reading the email. It just opens up so many doors to you. Okay, so there's a quote here from Bob Burg that he puts out in the book. It's great to thank people after they do something nice for you. It's even more powerful to thank them before they do something for you. That's huge. That's just, please start living your life like that. Start moving forward. You'll see things start to level up for you. You'll see people really go out of their way to do even more than what you've even asked them to do. I promise you this will work. It works for me every single day. Now, some people might have a bad day and they're just brief and not very, and kind of curt with you, and that's fine. But still be curious about the person and make their life easier by maybe something that you could do for them while you're needing something done for you. Be the go-giver. Okay? So that's really quick knowledge nugget for today. I hope everybody has a great holiday today. Enjoy it. Let's keep leveling up our life. Let's keep leveling up our health, leveling up our wealth, because it's your time to shine. Fire up. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine today. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope you will help support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, level up. It's your time to shine.